This Good Morning Northwest morning sprint is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is 6:53, time to get you ready to take on your Monday in the work week in the morning sprint.
Sydney Charles has the details on the final push to Super Tuesday.
But first, let's get to Allison Martinez in for Mark talking about a winter weather advisory.
That's right. We do have a winter weather advisory in place until about 10 o'clock this morning. This is for Colville, Deer Park, Bonners Ferry, Sandpoint, Coeur d'Alene, Kellogg. These areas are going to be seeing more moderate snowfall. And as you head out the door this morning, these areas could be seeing some tricky travel conditions, so allow yourself plenty of time as you head out the door. And that's what we have for you now.
Former Pasco police officer and convicted killer Richard Aguirre will learn his fate today. A judge will sentence him for the murder of Ruby Doss in Spokane in 1986. A judge found Aguirre guilty on first-degree murder in a December trial, but Aguirre's defense wanted the conviction reduced to second-degree murder. The judge delayed the sentencing until today while he reconsidered that motion. We'll bring you this decision on KXLY.com as soon as the judge makes it public.
The trial starts today for a former Idaho State Police trooper accused of killing his wife more than 2 years ago. Daniel Howard posted bail on a $1.5 million bond in December. He's accused of killing his wife, Kendi, in 2021 in Athol. But he wasn't arrested for the murder until last April. Howard resigned from ISP when he was charged with stalking and assaulting Kendi in 2014. Howard was also accused of confronting a man about an affair he suspected his wife was having and stealing 15,000 rounds of ammunition from state police.
We have new information on the avalanche that killed a man in Boundary County Friday. His body has been recovered. Lance J. Gidley has been snowmobiling with a friend Friday afternoon when the avalanche happened. Gidley's friend called the Boundary County Sheriff's Office to report an avalanche that it buried Gidley in the upper mountains near the Peak River and near the Pack River and the Hunt Lake area. The recovery operation took 9 hours because of that rugged terrain, challenging weather, and the high risk of a further avalanche. And by the time crews reached him, he had died under 4 feet of snow. We'll continue to update this story throughout the day on KXLY.com.
A Newman Lake man is in jail charged in a hit-and-run crash in Spokane Valley that sent 2 people to the hospital. Police say the collision happened on Trent and Barker in the roundabout around 3:15 yesterday afternoon. According to Washington State Patrol, a Jeep driven by 50-year-old Jimmy Munson was driving erratically and rear-ended a car driven by a 71-year-old man. That man and his passenger were both taken to the hospital. WSP says Munson drove away from the scene, but they tracked him and the car to his Newman Lake home. They do believe Munson was under the influence of either drugs and/or alcohol.
We're hoping to learn more today about a man who caused a standoff at a retirement community in west central Spokane. Police say a man and a woman were inside a trailer at the Sans Souci retirement community when a man started a fire inside. The woman told police she got out of the trailer, but the man inside was armed with a shotgun. The SWAT team tried several tactics to end the standoff peacefully, using a drone and talking to the man using a loudspeaker. He was then ultimately taken into custody after several hours. Now today, we hope to learn the man's name and what charges he'll face.
Super Tuesday is tomorrow. Right now, former President Donald Trump is leading in all states and territories where delegates are up for grabs. And this morning, Nikki Haley is fresh off her first victory of the 2024 campaign. The former South Carolina governor winning the Republican primary in Washington, D.C., making her the first woman to ever win a Republican presidential primary or caucus. Coverage on the final push ahead of Super Tuesday will continue coming up next on Good Morning America.
Lawmakers are considering a state-level bill called the Safer Banking Act for cannabis businesses. The bipartisan bill, co-sponsored by Senator Maria Cantwell, would allow state legal cannabis shops access to financial services. If it passes, people would be able to pay for marijuana with a credit card or debit card at dispensaries instead of just using cash, something a local pot shop tells us is deeply needed. The state-level bill is now waiting a full vote on the Senate floor.
A bill to enshrine a woman's right to an abortion in the French Constitution goes to a historic vote today. Lawmakers are gathered for a joint session of Parliament at the Palace of Versailles. Now, abortion rights are widely accepted in France. Polls show around 80% of French people back legal abortion.
Opill, the first oral contraceptive approved for over-the-counter use in the United States, will be available in stores and online this month. The company behind the product expects it to sell for $20 for a 1-month supply or $50 for 3 months. We're back with a final check of weather after this.